Okay, this video would explain about the summary chapter 13. It's about grounded theory design. So what is grounded theory design? Grounded theory design is a systematic qualitative procedure used to generate a theory that explains at a broad conceptual level a process, an action, or an interaction about a substantive topic. Grounded theory design enables us to generate a broad theory about our qualitative central phenomenon grounded in the data. And we can use it when we need a broad theory or explanation of a process. The types of grounded theory design is the systematic design. Open coding means that the grounded theories form initial categories for information about the phenomenon being studied by segmenting information. Axial coding means that we select one open coding category, position it at the center of the process being explored as the core phenomenon and then relates other categories to it. Selecting coding here, select one open coding categories and use it as the core phenomenon in the axial coding paradigm. The second types is the emerging design. Glaser in 1992 said that grounded theory research as advanced consists of several major ideas. Number one, grounded theory exists at the most abstract conceptual level rather than the least abstract level as found in visual data presentation such as a coding paradigm. Two, a theory is grounded in the data and it is not forced into categories. Three, a good grounded theory must meet four central criteria: fit, work, relevance, and modifiability. The number three, the constructivist design. It's mentioned the belief and values of the researcher and as choose predetermined categories, such as those found in axial coding. So for choosing the design of grounded theory design, we need to weigh how strongly we want to emphasize procedures, use predetermined categories in analysis, position ourselves as a researcher, and decide how to end the study, whether it's with tentative question or hypotheses that are specific. Next, about the characteristic of grounded theory research. The first characteristic is process approach. It means that a sequence of action and interaction among people and even pertaining to a topic. Categories in grounded theory design are terms of basic information identified in the data by the researcher and used to understand a process. A category for the process between a school counselor and students. For the example, maybe the students' understanding of success in the session. The theoretical sampling means that the researcher chooses forms of data collection that will yield text and image useful in generating a theory. This means that the sampling is intentional and focused on the generation of theory. Beyond sampling data for its theoretical value, grounded theories also impose the idea of using an emerging design. An emerging design in here means the process of which the researcher collects data, analyzes it immediately rather than waiting until all the data collected and then base the decision about what data to collect next on this analysis. Jadi tidak menunda-nunda untuk for analyze the result of the data. Next, constant comparative data analysis in here means that it is an inductive from specific to broad data analysis procedure in grounded theory research of generating and connecting categories by comparing incidents in the data to other incidents, incident to categories, or categories to other categories. A core category is the basis for writing the theory, and the Stars and Corbin in 1998 said how to identify for choosing a central or a core category. There are six. The first one, it must be a central. Second one, it must appear frequently in the data. Third, the explanation that evolves by relating the categories is logical and consistent. Fourth, the name or phrase used to describe the central category should be sufficiently abstract. Next, as the concept is refined, the theory grows in depth and explanatory power. And the last one, when conditions vary, the explanation still holds, although the way in which. The fifth of characteristic of grounded theory is theory generation. It's an abstract explanation or understanding of a process about substantive topic grounded in the data. Because the theory is close to the data, it doesn't have wide applicability or scope, such as grand theories about human motivation that apply to many people and situations. And memos in here, it's a notes that researcher writes throughout the research process to elaborate on ideas about the data and the coded categories. In memo, we can explore hunches, idea, and thoughts, and then take them apart, always searching for the broader explanation at work in the process. Memo also help us for the direct inquiry toward new sources of data, shape which ideas to develop further, and prevent paralysis from mountains of data. Next, about ethical issues in conducting grounded theory research. Ethical issues face grounded theories when they declare the purpose of the study knowing that it will emerge through a grounding in participant views. The central role of interviewing in grounded theory raises questions about power and authority and giving appropriate voice to participants about the process of research. The use of logically building grounded theory from concept or categories to a theoretical model needs to be documented so that others can relate similar process. The idea of using grounded theory to benefit participants looms large just in other forms of qualitative research. So this is the steps in conducting grounded theory research. Step 1. Decide if a grounded theory design best addresses the research problem. For the example, in educational fields in which qualitative research has made slow inroads, such as educational psychology, inquirers are turning to grounded theory as a useful procedure. Step 2. Identify a process to study. It needs to involve people who are acting or interacting with identifiable steps or sequence in their interaction. It's helpful to write down this process early in your plan for study, such as the question, what is the process topic for first-year teachers, or what is the process by which faculty develop into productive researcher. Step 3, seeks approval and access. It's for collecting some data, because if we don't need the approval, we can get the access for collecting our data. Step 4 is conduct theoretical sampling. The researcher needs to make the decision as to when they have fully developed their categories and the theory. Next, step 5 is code data. As like I said before, it starts from the open coding, actual coding, and selecting coding. So we can code the data by the systematic design of grounded theory design. Step 6, it's about to selecting coding and develop the theory, because after we code the data, we have to select it and involve refining the actual coding paradigm and presenting it as a model or theory of the process. Step 7 is validate your theory. It's like comparing it with existing process found in the literature. And the last step is write a grounded theory research problem. Okay, and this is the last of the grounded theory design. It's about how to evaluate the quality of grounded theory design. We can make explicit the process or action at the heart of the study, and then develop or generates a theory at the end of the study that is grounded in the view of the participant. Make certain that a link exists between the data, the generation of categories, and the ultimate theories. And also we provide evidence of using memoing and sampling that enables the generation of the theory, for present a visual model of the theory, and provides evidence of the use of one of the types of grounded theory design, such as a systematic, emerging, or constructivist approaches. Okay, that's all about the summary of chapter 12, and thank you.